平和への誓い
Pledge for Peace. Representing Hibakusha, the Pledge of Peace will be delivered by Mr. Sumiteru Taniguchi. Pledge for Peace. On this day 70 years ago, over 70,000 people were instantly killed by the American atomic bomb, which was dropped over these skies. Corpses charred black, voices begging for help from beneath the toppled buildings. People whose flesh had been torn and was hanging loose, with their intestines exposed, faces swollen like pumpkins, people whose eyes had fallen out of their sockets, large group of people who had died in the Urakami River as they sought water. That night, the land in Urakami was the sea of fire. It was hell. The hell did not end. The uninjured, those who wandered the hypercenter searching for their families, and those who rushed to provide relief and aid suddenly developed reddish-purple spots all over their bodies and died vomiting blood. On this day 70 years ago, I was 16 years old. I was a postman delivering mail. At the moment the bomb exploded, I was riding my bicycle through Sumiyoshimachi, 1.8 kilometers from the hypercenter. Suddenly from behind me there came a rainbow of light, and I was blown over and crushed into the road by the ferocious force of the blast. When at length I attempted to stand, I discovered that the skin of my left arm was hanging loose like a dirty rag from my shoulder right down to my fingers. I touched my back and found that clothes were no longer there, and my skin came away, slimy on my hands. Strangely, I did not bleed a single drop of blood, and neither did I feel any pain. I spent 2 nights in the mountains until I was finally rescued. On the morning of the 3rd day, I was hospitalized for 3 years and 7 months. I spent 1 year and 9 months of that time wandering the edges of death, lying on my stomach because of the enormous burns which covered my back. This gave me bed sores which rotted the flesh on my chest to the bone. Even today, you can still see my heart beating between my ribs because it is as though my chest had been scooped out. I had been told that my lung capacity is almost half that of a healthy person. The lives and health of those who had barely survived was in ruins. We spent 12 years in abandonment, fighting illness without receiving any aid from the state. In 1956, encouraged by the anti-atomic and hydrogen bomb movements that had grown in opposition of the damage caused by American hydrogen bomb tests at Bikini Atoll, we, the Hibakusha atomic bomb survivors, established an organization for Hibakusha. That I did not join the mountain of corpses that day has enabled me to dedicate my life to the Hibakusha cause. After the war, the constitution was established, which pledged to the world that Japan would never fight in a war again and would not possess war. However, now there is an attempt to return to the wartime era by forcing through approval of the right to collective self-defense and an amendment to the Constitution. This security bill the government is pursuing will lead to the war. It is an attempt to overturn the nuclear abolition activities and wishes held and carried out by the Hibakusha and those multitudes of people who desire peace. We cannot accept this. Nuclear weapons are cruel and inhumane. There is overwhelming international support for their abolition. I pledge before all those who desire peace to inherit their wishes of all my companions who have passed away over the 70 years, and that as a living witness of war and the atomic bomb, that I will continue to convey the truth of the atomic bombing throughout the world for as long as I live, so that we may realize a peaceful world without war and nuclear weapons. Sumiteru, Taniguchi, August 9, 2015.